All right, friends, MagicBand Plus. Apparently it's on its way. We've been hearing about it all year, and now Disney has given one more nod as to when that might be. I mean, we're running out of months here in 2022. Spectrum News reports that a year after announcing that MagicBand would finally come to the Disneyland Resort, officials Tuesday released a teaser of the much-anticipated upgraded wearable technology that should arrive sometime this year, saying, quote, "We are just saying," this is crazy, "we are just saying fall for right now." A Disneyland spokesperson wrote in an email to Spectrum News. Disneyland officials said the MagicBand Plus offers wearers hands-free access and convenience as they stroll throughout the park. Visitors won't need to dig into their pockets, wallets, purses, or phones to look for or scan their theme park tickets. The MagicBand Plus can store a wearer's ticket to the park, check in at Lightning Lane entrances, and link their photo pass. The photo would go directly into their Disneyland account, of course, among other things. And Tyler, obviously, the demographic of guests who are dramatically different at Disneyland versus Disney World. How do you imagine the introduction of MagicBand Plus will go out west all these years after Orlando launched theirs? It's supposed to be the Plus version.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll go pretty well, honestly. I think that they'll sell a lot of them in the very beginning. I think that a lot of people who go to Disneyland, as we all know, are big just Disneyland fans in general. It's a lot of people who go on a regular basis, and so it won't be the learning struggle that I feel like a lot of tourists have when they go to Disney World, you know, to figure out all the MagicBand stuff. So I think they're going to do pretty well, especially in the beginning, because if you think about the way that things went out in Disney World, people were obsessed with MagicBands for quite some time. I think that interest started to fall off a little bit, and then they kind of took it away from, you know, you used to get one for free when you stayed at a hotel, and then they took that away, and then I think they realized, oh well, how can we make it exciting again? Oh, MagicBand Plus, let's add like some lights to it, let's do a golden statue thing. You know, it all seems cool from the outside, so I think sales will decline, you know, pretty quickly, but they'll make a big bunch of money in the beginning. And I think what they need to do is just keep up with the experiences and actually, you know, design some things around the MagicBand Plus, because if they keep up with the experiences, they can keep on selling them, and I think that would be the way to go. I think it was really cool years ago. They changed the name a couple times. I can't remember what the first name was, but the second one was made with Magic, I think, and it was like they had paintbrushes that you could, and then they had like hats. They had like Mickey ears that would change colors with the shows, like, and so
Glow with the Show.
Yeah, Glow with the Show. That's the other one. Yeah, Glow with the Show, made with Magic. I don't know why they had two different names. I guess it wasn't selling well enough, and they just
they tried to restructure.
They tried to rechange it, rejigger it around, but the hats went with the shows. But then the cool thing was, like I mentioned, the paintbrush. You could interact with other guests by taking the paintbrush and like pointing to people's ears, and then you could change the color of people's ears with your paintbrush. And that was always like a really fun thing to do. And if they could just come up with little experiences like that for the MagicBand Plus, I think that would keep it going for a little amount of time. And hopefully, because this has different, you know, abilities than those Glow with the Show ears had, hopefully, you know, it has more utilitarian action, I guess. You know, hopefully more people will buy these than they did the ears, because the ears didn't go over very well. But yeah, I think time will tell. I think it's going to sell real good at first, though. That's for sure.
Yeah, probably that initial interest right out of the gates.
Yeah.
And I always thought the Glow with the Show ears were going to like take off because of how many people I saw with them. And then I realized those were given out, most of them, you know, initially, that Disney was really pushing them for the sake of like virability and video. Social media stunts were performed with them because it looks cool when you have a whole audience wearing ears that, you know, react to what's going on in the atmosphere. But they never really did take off the way that they probably should have in Disney's eyes, right? So,
I think it was just too expensive. I think they were like $50 for a pair of ears, and it was just so expensive, and it only did that one thing. Like, and if you didn't,
and you can't see them,
and you can't see them too.
They're on your head.
True.
Be like,
and honestly, like all of the promo stuff that you're mentioning, it did look very cool to see this whole wave of color going through all the people. But in reality, I went to a preview for World of Color where they did give me a set of ears. And in reality, when you're in that audience and you're watching like World of Color or something like that, you really just have lights in front of your face that don't really. It's like unless you're like further back, it's just kind of annoying. So, I think that it solves a problem of the lights being in people's faces by putting it on the wrist with the MagicBand Plus. But then at the same time, people don't watch a show like this, or you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
right,
you're not watching a show like with your arm up the whole time. So is it really going to be? I don't know. I haven't seen a show yet with the MagicBand Plus, but time will tell to see if it's cool or not.
I have so many things to say. No, I think for Disneyland it's gonna fizzle out because like Disney World, there's always new people coming.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really. I mean, they have a big AP like format too for people, but I feel like they just have those people that come once or twice a year versus Disneyland where people come like all the time.
Yeah.
And then they kind of fizzle, like people will just fizzle out on these things. So like, yes, it'll be exciting to get different magic bands and pair them with your outfits, and they'll come out with a new one and people will like, oh, I gotta get it type thing. But then it'll slowly just plateau with their sales unless they create something interesting for Disneyland in general, like the Sorcerer of the Magic Kingdom type thing, right? So you show up with your magic band, you're able to play it throughout the day. Because a lot of those annual pass holders, or magic key holders, they don't really, we go on rides, but we don't go on rides that much. And then on top of it, it's supposed to be like for a charge card. You put it on your phone or on your like band, you put your credit card so you can charge stuff to your room. A lot of these people don't stay on property to do that. And then so if they created something where it made you want to wear the magic band and say, oh my gosh, I want to play Sorcerers of the, of Disneyland. And then they put those screens up and you have to use your magic band to use it. Or they do over at in Adventureland with the Pirates game. Like, I love that thing. When we go, I always have to make sure we sign up so we can play it. And if they did that over at Disneyland, I think it would go really well. I know that the new MagicBand Plus, you can use it at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, but I think you still have to use your phone on top of your magic band. So you still have to use up your battery on your phone to play the game versus having something where it doesn't use up your phone, like the Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom or the Pirates game or something. So you need to create something.
They need to build entertainment around it.
Yeah, they need to build it because I'm not like what Tyler said. It's like I'm not going to watch a show like this up and down to make sure I watch it and it honestly doesn't, it's easy to pull out my wallet and then just scan my card. When you pay for stuff at a store or something, they're still going to probably have to see your phone to see if you're an annual pass holder or your magic key holder. So you still have to see, they still want to check. So they still have to scan it. It's not like I'm going to use my magic band and they're going to be like, oh, you're a magic key holder. Got it.
Hopefully it'll be tethered to that because
I really hope so.
If you can tether park admission, you can tether a magic key ID, and it would be great, especially getting people away from just being in their phones all the time because Disney has increasingly over the last couple of years, especially Disneyland, they have now driven entire segments of the park population to just be on their phone all the time out of necessity to get things done for the day. So hopefully this will get people away from their phone and a little bit more back into the atmosphere that Disneyland was meant to be. That would be nice to see. MagicBand Plus coming our way this fall, as we have heard from Disneyland now. Are you looking forward to it? Will you be partaking in the MagicBand Plus? Are you going to buy one? We'd love to hear from you. Let us know in our comment section.
All right. To all who come to this happy place, welcome.